My most influential job was probably my first sous chef job at the Pump Room in Chicago. I worked with a chef called Gabino Sotolino, and he was a Basque from the Spanish region of the Basques, and he was intense and incredibly pushing, and he was convinced that women couldn't do anything right, and he made me what I am today.
Most influential job, I have to say, was washing dishes. And my first dishwashing job was with my mother. She ran restaurants. She was a manager of a restaurant. And I think I learned so much about being a chef or being a cook, washing dishes, because there's so much wrapped up in that job that is the same as a cook. For instance, organization, efficiency, instant feedback, gratification, being a team player, repetition, and rituals. And I think about all those different elements of washing dishes, and you can translate that right into, or transfer that right into being a really good cook.
Probably for me, the most influential job would be one of my first major professional ones. I worked at a restaurant in New York called Nobu, and this is back in the early 2000s. It was when I really learned how to work, to work long hours and to stand up and take the heat, I guess, in a way you could say. So that was kind of when I really learned how to work in a professional kitchen.
Maybe my most influential job was the job I got flipping hamburgers at a ski resort in Southern California to make the money to buy my ticket to go back to France to learn to cook. Because the guy I was working for was the best boss I've ever had. And ever since, I've tried to be that kind of boss. He would work with you, he did everything himself, and he was just so real and loved what he did. That he really kind of set the bar for me.
The most influential job, I think, when I was a young cook, I worked at La Côte Basque for a while in New York. And La Côte Basque at the height of Nouvelle Cuisine. Todd English was there, Charlie Palmer was there. There was an extraordinary amount of talent, but there was something about that kitchen that was just magic. Every cook in the kitchen was doing whatever it took in as many hours a day as they could possibly stand and cook. And it was an extraordinary inspiration.
I think my first cooking job probably I was worked for Trey Fauché in La Jolla, and he had me plating desserts and shucking oysters all at the same time, which is kind of difficult to keep that clean. And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Just learning how to manage what I tell my cooks, the 1 foot in front of you, just your space in kind of a clean fashion is sort of a life lesson.